you know if you got it, go and get it, get to win and not conquer. I had to go out and get it without a sponsor. Kept it real, never crooked, yeah, that's honor. Now I can go out and get it how I want to. Hashtag blessed, I choose.
Hashtag blessed. What is up, Rumble? What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Ryan Matta Show. Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. If you guys could do us a huge solid, please consider smashing that like button. If you guys are over on Rumble, the free speech capital of the internet, please swing down there. Make sure that gray thumbs up button turns green, and that'll let the algorithm know that you guys are enjoying this content. We got a good show tonight. We got a lot of stuff to get into, a lot going on with Bitcoin. What is it, a $6,000 candle, if I'm not mistaken? Could this have anything to do with the world's largest pension funds eyeing up Bitcoin for diversification? Things are about to get real interesting. If you guys have watched Robert Breedlove's content before, you guys will hear him talk about what they call skin in the game and then just game theory, right? Are you going to be the last person to join the party when you have an opportunity to get into Bitcoin for $70,000? Are you going to watch the entire world start adopting this asset? And pension funds from all around the world start growing and growing massively in value and attracting trillions of dollars worth of capital because you chose to adopt Bitcoin? Or are you going to be the pension fund that goes to zero because if you don't hold Bitcoin, what do you really hold? It's going to be interesting, folks. I think we're going the latter. With that $6,000 candle, I don't think we're going to see Bitcoin drop below 60,000 again. But you never know. Black swan events happen. So let's jump into this article over here on Bitcoin News. It says world's largest pension fund eyes Bitcoin. The Japanese government pension fund investment fund GPI, worth $1.54 trillion, is contemplating Bitcoin for diversification. Yeah, zoom in on this a little bit. I'm always zoomed out here. Japan's government pension fund, GPI, one of the world's largest pension fund portfolios, is considering Bitcoin as part of its diversification strategy with assets worth 225 trillion Japanese yen, equivalent to approximately 1.49 trillion currently. Now, GPIF's potential entry into Bitcoin space could have significant implications globally. GPIF's interest in Bitcoin. GPIF unveiled plans to explore new long-term investment policies, adapting to rapid technology changes and shifts within traditional finance. The funds has initiated a comprehensive 5-year research plan to discover innovative investment diversification strategies focusing on sustaining sustainability and risk management. As part of their initiative, GPIF is gathering information on various assets it currently does not hold, including digital assets like Bitcoin and precious metals such as gold. Now, according to their statement released by GPIF, the announcement does not immediately translate into the inclusion of Bitcoin into its portfolio. Instead, the fund will assess and gather data, conducting thorough due diligence to decide whether to proceed further with research on these potential investment tools. I think that's funny right there, right? We're going to put together a 5-year plan and we're going to kind of figure it out. We're not buying Bitcoin, but we're going to start looking into buying Bitcoin. Anybody that starts looking into buying Bitcoin buys it, unless you're Peter Schiff. And we're going to get into that story here in a second because you guys want to hear about putting in $10,000 into Bitcoin the first time Peter Schiff talked about it versus putting $10,000 into Peter Schiff's portfolio or investment vehicle. You're going to want to stay tuned for that one. So global trends towards Bitcoin investment. GPIF's exploration into digital currencies comes amidst increasing institutional interest in Bitcoin globally. The move signifies a shift in institutional investors' acceptance of Bitcoin as a legitimate investment asset. The possibility of funds primarily invested in traditional assets incorporating Bitcoin into its portfolio could set a precedent for other global pension funds. When the largest pension funds start doing it, everybody starts doing it, folks. We're seeing BlackRock. And then how many ETFs have came along? Lots, right? The fund aims to acquire fundamental data such as academic research, analytical resources, and indices covering investment strategies and portfolio integrations for pension funds. While the interest is evident, GPIF remains cautious. The funds emphasize a prudent and analytical approach committed to upholding research and evaluation standards before implementing any modifications to its investment strategy. The announcement highlights GPIF's commitment to responsible investing principles. Okay. I mean, they've only had 15 years to figure it out. I don't know what's taking them that long, but I'm glad they're getting on board. Diversification, global perspective on Bitcoin investments. GPIF is not alone in considering Bitcoin investments. Pension funds worldwide have been cautiously exploring Bitcoin-related assets, such as South Korea's National Pension Service and the Houston Firefighters Relief and Retirement Fund have dipped their toes into Bitcoin waters. A mixed sediment. So, I'll jump into conclusion. So as Japan GPIF explores potential Bitcoin investments, it reflects a broader trend of institutional acceptance and interest. While the decision is not final, the mere consideration of Bitcoin by the world's largest pension fund underscores its growing promise as a viable investment asset. As regulatory frameworks evolve and institutional confidence grows, the Bitcoin market may witness increased participation from traditional financial institutions, potentially reshaping the global investment landscape. This asset's going to change every aspect of life as we know it, folks. I don't think there will be an asset in the world ever again that you have the opportunity to buy into like Bitcoin. And I want to get into this clip over here. Actually, let me say what up to everybody over in the live chat. Guys, if you got a lot of people over on YouTube, you guys should swing over here and join us on Rumble. I can see we got quite a few people watching over on YouTube. So swing over and join us over here on Rumble. I'll jump over in the YouTube live chat as well and say what up to everybody. But it's such a good time. We got Mr. K, Robbie Ellis, Lonester, Crypto Rick, Mr. K, all you guys over on UFO Nut. Good to see you, my man. Come over and join us on Rumble. It's much better of a time. GMCG price predictions. We all know how that went last time. Well, I have not stopped buying Bitcoin, my friends. Non-stop. You guys follow me over on LFA TV. You guys know I talk about Bitcoin. I actually run ads every single day on my LFA show about crypto. So if you guys haven't been following my work over there, come over and join me on LFA TV and you guys won't miss out. So check this out. Bitcoin Archives tweets out new back over 68,000 with a massive $6,000 green candle. That's the biggest daily increase since February 2021. Things are looking awful bullish for Bitcoin, folks. Let's jump into this next tweet over here. So the Bitcoin therapist says, Bitcoin is ripping out eyeballs. Shorts are getting fucked so hard, I'm having to watch the bears get slaughtered at 75K. I'm here to watch the bears get slaughtered at 75K. Bitcoin therapist is a great count. He goes by at the BTC therapist over on X, and his account is absolutely awesome. We're up 7,000 in a few hours. Wake the fuck up. We're going to 100K by the halving. My man, let's go. Now let's check out this other account I just actually came across right before we went live today. I just reached out to her to see if she'd like to come on the show for an interview. Hopefully she will reach back out. She goes by at BT_chick. And she says, why Bitcoin and not Ethereum, Solana, or any other scam coin? Proof of that. I like the way she talks. Check this out.
Okay, guys. Why Bitcoin? Like, honestly, why Bitcoin and not Ethereum, Ripple, Solana, or any other altcoin? Let's keep it simple. Bitcoin is the only blockchain that is created as a solution that puts our needs in front of the creator's needs. I think that you can actually see Bitcoin as a gift for humanity. And this is something that a lot of people have realized, and therefore, out of greed, created alternative blockchains to enrich themselves. Yeah, the term scam coins actually fits all of them. Okay, and many people have been misled to believe that Bitcoin misses these features and capabilities that justifies these other blockchains. And this is pure FUD. Bitcoin is a technical infrastructure that is constantly being developed and adapted, exactly like internet. If you see something in an infrastructure that has not yet reached the desired level, you don't create a new infrastructure. There's no need for this, as Bitcoin has interfaced for adaptation with no need to create new coins. A very good example is the Liquid blockchain, which is one of the most advanced blockchains alongside Bitcoin, with no requirements of investing in any other coins to use it. As conclusion, everything except Bitcoin is a scam coin. Thank you.
Music to my ears, folks. Oh, it's fun with all the Bitcoin maxis out there shitting on all these shit coins. I'm actually enjoying it. Check this out. Speaking of shit coins, Peter Schiff, check this one out. John Tuttle, or TULD, goes by at Brad Houston over on X, tweets out, he says, if you put $10,000 into Peter Schiff's Euro Pacific Gold Fund when it began in July of 2013 and held it to today, you would have lost $1,114. If you put $10,000 into Bitcoin on that same day, you would have 7.63 million. Remember that next time Peter Schiff tells you Bitcoin's going to zero. Oh boy, it's getting good over here, folks. That's priceless. So Bitcoin Hodl is becoming one of my, or he goes by British Hodl over on X, is becoming one of my favorite accounts to follow. He says hashtag Bitcoin. He goes path to 100K, just started. Jerome said it's time to be BAF, stacking Bitcoin now. My thoughts only, all knowing, power law, line from hell. Check this out.
So we have had a very, very bullish Fed press conference, and I believe that this has started the move, the next leg up, so to say, in Bitcoin prices. The Federal Reserve has simply come out and said everything's looking great, and we will be cutting rates at some point.
Hold on. Let's pause that thought. He's talking about Jerome Powell. Check this out. Let's actually hear what Jerome Powell had to say. So Bitcoin Magazine tweets out, he says, Justin, Fed Chair Powell says the Federal Reserve is not working on a CBDC and has no plans to propose one. It's wrong to say we're working on a CBDC. They didn't see this coming.
Researching or hiring personnel to study the implications of a CBDC. Can you give us any clarity on what the Fed is doing right now on a digital dollar?
Sure. So I think we've been pretty transparent on this, but I'll try harder. So we are not getting ready to, we haven't proposed, we haven't come to a conclusion that we should propose or anything like that, that Congress consider legislation to authorize a digital dollar. And it would take legislation by Congress signed by the president to give us the ability to do what we think of as a CBDC, which is really a retail CBDC with the public of it. So we're just a long, long way from that. What we are doing, and I think what every major central bank is doing, is we're trying to stay in the frontiers of what's going on in digital finance. And it has many, many different areas. You know, it has applications in wholesale finance, in the payment system. And so we to serve the public, these issues have become very front burner in the last 5 or 6 years. We need to be knowledgeable about all that. So we actually do have people trying to understand things that are, but it's wrong to say that we're working on a CBDC and then we've secretly got a lab here where we've got one and we're just going to spring it on Congress at the right moment. We don't. I haven't at all in my own mind made a decision that I think this is something the U.S. should be doing. You know, I just think it's something we need to understand, and we do have people who are keeping up with that as part of the broader payments landscape. That's how I would characterize
it. So no central bank digital currency, right? But there's another clip I want to play from the Fed as well. Check this one out.
Chair Powell, you said you're waiting to become more confident that inflation is getting to your 2% goal before you cut rates. Can you just sum up more specifically what data you're looking at that would give you that confidence?
Sure. So most importantly, we're looking at the incoming inflation data and the contents of it and what they're telling us. So that'll be, and also the various components. So obviously that's what we want. We want more confidence that inflation is coming down sustainably toward 2%. And I mean, of course, we'll also be looking at all the other things that are happening in the economy. We'll look at the totality of the data, including everything essentially, as we make that assessment. But the most important thing will be the inflation data that's coming in.
Well, are there things that you would give more weight to, like wages?
Wages is one thing. We don't. Our target is not wages. It's really inflation. But we would look to the fact that wages are still coming in very strong, but they've been wage increases. That is to say, wage increases have been quite strong, but they're gradually coming down to levels that are more sustainable over time.
All right. So now we heard a little bit about what Fed's saying. Supposedly there's going to be rate cuts. I don't know how they're going to have rate cuts. Personally, I don't see rate cuts coming. I don't think they're coming. But I don't think inflation's coming down either. So we're going to see. Time's going to tell. When you're taking a look at the shipping rates and the cost of international shipping right now, and I think the United States imports like 70% or 78% of its products, and you're seeing shipping costs because of what's going on over in the Red Sea accelerating at a rate faster than it did during COVID. And then you see inflation going back up and the Fed's telling you that they're still planning to cut rates.
This year. That's all they really needed to say, right? We have seen the Federal Reserve navigate this, and a lot of people are going to hate this, but I think the Federal Reserve has navigated this quite well. Obviously, it's not been good for a lot of normal people, but in terms of the actual purpose of what the Federal Reserve is designed to do, and I always use this analogy, the Federal Reserve's job is to fly a plane that's already flying in the sky with no real destination. Their job is just to keep it in the sky. And based on that, I think they've done a reasonable job here. And I think Jerome Powell has done a reasonable job based on the objectives that he's been given. That's obviously, it's not taking into account the high inflation rates that we've seen affecting normal people, et cetera, which is bad. But he's done a good job here, and now he's come to say, okay, everybody pack your bags, we're going to the moon. And that's what this press conference was about. Someone always likes to disturb me when I'm recording, right? So
that was my phone.
I think at this point we have unlocked our momentum towards back to the upside. Remember, we've also had something like $4.5 to $5 billion of outflows from GBTC. We were also now seeing the 2-year interest rate collapse, and I'm looking at it's down 1.62%, and it's on its way down. And as that comes down, it's going to pump not only the broader markets, but specifically Bitcoin. The last time the 2-year interest rates did this sort of trend movement that we're seeing from, let's have a look when that was. I'll give you the exact dates. From around 23rd of February to Friday, March 8th. Bitcoin pumped 33%, and we're on the way to making that move now, and a 33% pump from yesterday's bottom. By the way, I put out this tweet that I'll put on the screen saying that, we could be on the eve to Bitcoin's pump to, $84,000 to $100,000, and that's what I think is happening right now. I think we have confirmed that we were yesterday on the eve of that. So, by the way, if you're not following me on Twitter, and you're watching this on YouTube, come over and follow me on Twitter, because I always put my thoughts first on Twitter, and then it comes to YouTube, because there's always a slight delay of a day or so. So come and check me out on Twitter. It's just British Huddle, and I've got the verified check mark, so you make sure you don't follow the wrong profile. And if you're in doubt, the link to my profile is in the description of this video as well, so you can come check.
Right here, folks, right there on the screen. That is at British Huddle. Make sure you guys are following him over on X. He is putting out great, absolutely fantastic work. Some of the best, actually, I think, in the industry right now. He's so Johnny on the spot. He's got amazing content. His videos are short, precise, right to the point. Swing over there and show him some love. Let's jump over here to the live chat. What up, UFO? No, what coins are you guys stacking? Haynes, good to see you, Paul. Who's that? Smitty2K in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Mr. K, Azza, what up, everybody? How you guys doing? E-Man, good to see you, my friend. Emin Perry in the house. Let's go. What are you guys stacking this bull run? We got a bunch of people. We got Josh over on on YouTube. Good to see you. Robert Ellis says, if we just focus on BTC, we don't have a marketplace in blockchain tech. What do you mean by that, Robert? Most of the real wealth has already been extracted from BTC. Most of the real wealth. Define that. What do you mean by that, Robert? I'd like to hear a little bit more. Blue, you my boy, homie. Good to see you, my friend. I see you over there on YouTube. Thank you guys for joining us. Oh, Blue's over on X. Look at that. We got everybody over here. Matthias, good to see you. I forgot we can, I got on the other live chat, what you guys aren't seeing on my other screen over here is, I got all the integration. So it's pulling people from Twitter, from Rumble, from YouTube, or not from Rumble, but from YouTube, everywhere but Rumble. It's kind of weird how these platforms like Restream will sync and they'll create applications and make it all easy for you to use any application except for things like Rumble. Kind of blows your mind, doesn't it, that Rumble isn't integrated into their software yet? But when you see a Ukraine flag in their bio when you open up the Restream app, it's to be expected. Phil C, good to see you, my friend. Phil, when you coming on the show for an interview, my friend? Phil's one of my OG subscribers. He's over on YouTube. And he's been following my work for a while, and I absolutely love the content you're putting out on Bitcoin, Phil. Absolutely love it, man. Keep up the great work. Whenever you want to come on for an interview, man, you're always welcome. Crypto Rick says, stacking metal, my friend. I cannot blame you for that. I cannot blame you at all. I think that that'll be a lucrative play for you. Not as lucrative as Bitcoin, but I can't blame you. I got some silver over here, not much, but I bought about $10,000 worth. I was just sitting on a whole pile of fiat this summer while I was saving for this house. And there was a point things were looking pretty ugly. So I was like, man, I got all this dirty fiat here. I need to get rid of it. So I went out and stacked about 10,000 in gold and silver. But anybody out there that wants to take my gold and trade me for Bitcoin, you got a buyer right here, my friend. Send me a DM and we'll make that happen. Stanley Pup, a mean coin, says Blue. Says, I grabbed a bag of Stanley Pup, man. DGen plays, man. DGen plays. I cannot blame you. I don't blame you, actually. I don't encourage it, but hey, man, you guys want to rock out with some meme coins? By all means, man. I can't hate on it. So Peter St. Ange, he's a PhD. He's always covering what the Fed's doing. He's got a lot of great insight to where these markets are going. So he says Democrats in Congress want the Feds to raise the inflation target to 2 to 3% and beyond. That would permanently ramp up inflation, and it would magnify the boom-bust cycles. The cycles of Wall Street casinos followed by jobless crashes. The scariest monetary fact in Washington right now is the guy who just printed $7 trillion is actually the hard money guy. When Jerome Powell's replaced in 2026, it could get even worse.
Congress wants more inflation. If they get their way, it could mean a permanent shift to higher inflation forever. A couple weeks ago, Jerome Powell was hauled into Congress to explain why the Fed, which is supposed to fight inflation, instead manufactures inflation for a living. Just kidding. This is Congress. In fact, Jerome Powell was hauled in to explain why the Fed doesn't crank up inflation even more. Or as the gathered Congress things put it, raise the inflation target from 2%, where it's been for decades, up to 3% and beyond, where it can fleece Americans gooder and harder. The background here is that the Fed has effectively maintained a 2% inflation target for roughly 30 years. Progressives high on MMT want a higher target so they can flood easy money to tissue fire the economy and bankrupt the country. Now, if you still believe in Santa Claus or central banking, it might come as a shock that there's literally no science behind the 2% target. Apparently, some random New Zealand banker made an off-the-cuff remark in 1988, and it spread like wildfire among the easily influenced cartel banker or central bankers of the world. Now, if I had to guess, the true reason for 2% is because central bankers think that's the highest number the public will accept. It's the highest number that mentally feels like you can ignore it. Bump that to 3, and the livestock get bolshy and vote for populists. And that brings us to Powell in Congress. In a recent exchange, Ohio progressive Sherrod Brown pressured Jerome why he doesn't cut rates right now to, quote, prevent workers from losing their jobs. Or as squatty Ayanna Pressley put it, quote, interest rates are too damn high. Powell responded that cutting rates could hike inflation, and he emphasized that the 2% target isn't going anywhere. In fact, he emphasized it 7 different times in the span of 5 minutes, which you only do when you're talking to stupid people. Of course, inflation is nowhere near 2%, and it hasn't been for years. By the friendliest measures CNN can dig up, it's 3.2 year on year, and on an annualized basis, it's closer to 5.5. But the Fed is on record. In fact, 7 times per 5 minutes, that 2% is the holy grail. The exchange illustrates what should be one of the scariest things in Washington right now, the fact that Jerome Powell is actually the hard money guy in D.C. He's under constant pressure to hike his target to 3, 4, and beyond. I had a series of videos last year tracing out what happens if the Fed does hike its target, but in short, it would massively intensify the boom-bust cycle, so bigger tissue fires, bigger collapses, while obviously eroding your dollar that much faster and, for better or worse, accelerating the great paper money Ragnarok that history says is coming. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. The Fed manufactured the biggest monetary crisis in 40 years, from inflationary boom to recessionary bust, papered over by deficits. It's now facing the political fallout from MMT Congress things whose constituents can see the jobs picture, even if government statisticians cannot. As for what comes next, if the guy who just engineered the worst inflation in 40 years is literally the hard money guy in DC, we are in trouble. Powell's term is up in 26. Trump has already said he won't reappoint since Powell is, quote, political. On the other hand, a second-term Biden may well give in and replace Powell with a proper inflationist, of which there are many waiting in the wings. That happens, we could get a money printer that makes $6 trillion Powell look like a pipsqueak.
Bingo. Bingo, folks. You have no choice but to be running to Bitcoin right now. And it's pretty bizarre feeling. I mean, we've been in this industry for a really long time. And seeing so many people not stacking Bitcoin this bear market, I think it'll be the biggest regret most people have. I think the entire landscape around the world is going to change in a very, very short period of time. And with everything in the United States being so up in the air, especially the tyranny and everything that we're facing, the invasion, and you're thinking about how a majority of these shitcoins, a lot of that liquidity is from the United States. What happens if the United States gets overthrown? Yeah, BTC or poor, Phil says. You know, a lot of people go, well, what if you lose the internet? What's going to happen to Bitcoin? I said, nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's no way they're going to kill internet across the entire world and power and everything else that, you need to run the Bitcoin network. But, taking out the United States, I would really be interested to see what people think about how their shitcoins will perform and hold up if something detrimental happened in the United States. I don't think it's unrealistic to think that, we might be in for the summer of hell. That's at least what I'm predicting. Now, Vivek for real tweets out, he says, I don't think there is a single person with a negative opinion who has spent 100 hours studying Bitcoin. And I couldn't agree more.
The world's full of examples of empires topple because they did not embrace a new technology. The Romans needed the Etruscans to whiff, and for the Greeks to take their eye off the ball. And then, one thing leads to another. And when you get enough power, you start to become more closed-minded. Right? If you have enough money and enough power, you don't need to learn anything new. What we see going on right now is every single powerful person in the world is asked the question, what do you think of Bitcoin? Everybody, the premier of Russia, every world leader, every major investor, every major influencer, everybody's got to have an opinion. Ask yourself the question, how many of them spent 100 hours studying Bitcoin to form an opinion? I don't think there's a single person with a negative opinion that spent 100 hours studying it. I don't think you're out on the limb there. I just think the world's full of people that they haven't spent 10 hours studying it.
They haven't spent 10 hours studying it. I couldn't agree more, folks. Do me a favor, guys. Smash that like button. I know we got a lot of people over here in the live chat. You guys want to take a look at some other coins. You guys want to take a look at some projects. You want to jump over on the charts. Drop the coins you guys want to look over. We'll do some price predictions. We'll chart out some coins. Bitcoin's freaking ripping right now. $67,943 as we speak. There was one other clip I did want to play for you guys. Yeah, I want to get somebody's comments on this. So check this out. What do you guys think about this? So Core DAO is key to unlocking BTC-Fi. Now, contributors at Rich Rhines at Bitcoin Renaissance. I haven't heard about this. I don't know much about it. Let me know what you guys think.
Hey there, Rich from Core DAO. So Core is a EVM-compatible Bitcoin-powered L1. We've got more than 50% of the Bitcoin hash rate currently delegating to Core with this novel consensus mechanism called Satoshi Plus, which is the blend of delegated proof of stake and delegated proof of work. Went to mainnet early last year, have several million holders from all around the world, and we're trying to unlock Bitcoin DeFi writ large. There's $1 trillion of trapped Bitcoin liquidity today that needs additional use cases. We think it starts with Bitcoin staking, with protocols like Core, Babylon, etc., and then that morphs all the way into like full BTC-Fi degen, where you're trading levered BRC20 perps, and we want to be the home for all that stuff. I think if I was to say, like, what does Bitcoin DeFi ultimately boil down to? It's a way to go earn additional Bitcoin, which is what most Bitcoin holders are trying to do in safe and secure fashion, and that's what Core is here to enable.
So Mr. K in the live chat says, I got some Core. $500 million market cap on Core. Wow, I mean, if they nail that one and they unlock that, he's spot on, guys. I mean, absolutely spot on. What was the market cap when you got in, Mr. K? I'm not really big into buying much. I've just been stacking so much Bitcoin lately. But you know, when you guys talk me into it, I might have to dabble a little bit in some Core. And Core is its own layer one. And how did he said they're taking they're using half of the hash rate of the Bitcoin blockchain to secure Core. If I heard that right, man, I would love to interview their team. If anybody has any connections at Core that's watching this, I would absolutely love to interview their team. I'd love to learn more about that project. Let me jump over to CoinMarketCap. What 41% of coins in circulation, he says, Core? Let's take a look at it. Yeah, 58. Let's see, what are we at? In a year, it's down. Oh, wow, it's drastically down. Wow. That might be an opportunity there. But I would really like to talk to a few Bitcoin maxis and hear exactly what they're thinking. Let's get some jams on. What do you guys say about that? Boring. There we go. Man, it's really weird when the music's low. Let me change this up really quick. Man, I thought I had different music. I thought I had a different playlist on here. Hold on, let me see. I might have the wrong music in here. That might be what it is. I do have the wrong music on here. I was like, man, why did I fucking put that shitty music on? Oh. There we go. Ah, so much better. I was like, man, did I make that shitty playlist? There we go. Now we're talking. Might be a little bit too loud, but there we go. How's that for you guys? That too loud? Now we got some jams going on. June 23 is when you pick some up, Mr. K. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Okay, so you got it about 96 cents. It's sitting down at 95 cents. Isn't there like an about section here somewhere? Man, I really miss the old CoinMarketCap layout. I'm not going to lie. About, there it is. So Core is built on a L1 blockchain that is compatible with Ethereum's virtual machine EVM. Therefore, it can run Ethereum smart contracts and decentralized applications. The Core network is powered by Satoshi plus consensus mechanism, which secures the network through a combination of delegated Bitcoin mining hash and delegated proof of stake DPoS. The protocol is backed by its native token Core. The developers of the project strive to create an infrastructure that operates at core of Web3, offering revolutionary ideas to solve the blockchain trilemma. Well, you can't solve the blockchain trilemma with a proof of stake project. I'm sorry about that. But the mainnet launches in January of 2023. The blockchain is governed by a decentralized autonomous organization, or a DAO, where the Core DAO is responsible for the development of Satoshi Plus ecosystem. Who are the founders? According to the official Core account, Core DAO is a global team of contributors who share a vision and passion for a better Web3. Idealists who contribute to the growth of the Satoshi Plus ecosystem through blockchain technology. The project has many supporters, about 1.6 million Twitter followers, and over 74,000 Telegram followers. However, the identities of the creators and contributors and developers remain undisclosed to the public. What's their X account? That's a massive amount of followers for a project I've never heard of. Core DAO, 2.2 million. Let's give them a follow. Let's just do a little fact checking and see how many followers they got here. Let's go on to Social Blade. So they're 49,000 followers over the last 30 days. That's increased. That's a down from the previous month of 39,000, or 39% down from the previous month. They got a B plus, which was a really high score. Man, they must be getting hella engagement on their tweets. That's a lot. 1,700, 1,400, 1,000, 1,950. Maybe they're running ads, which is possible. But that is a lot of organic growth. And they put out 7 tweets this day, 6 tweets, no tweets this day, 1, 8, 3. So consistent on tweeting. And let's take a look at their code. And I'm not seeing any GitHub, which is really weird either. Got a chain explorer. The social team kills it. I mean, those are insane numbers, Mr. K. Absolutely insane. But why am I not seeing their GitHub over here? There it is. So looks like we don't have many updates there. Genesis contract. Don't know why it wasn't working. So it looks like this one was last updated 10 months ago. I don't see any updates here on this code. Update last week. Okay, wrap contracts. Okay, so it does look like updated 2 weeks ago, January 4th. So they got a little bit development going on in the code, not as much as I would like to see. So they got 191 contributors working on this code. It's insane. It's a lot. Their 1.06 was released last month. 6 releases total. I would definitely like to interview their team. I'd actually like to talk to some other people that are more bigger in the Bitcoin community and understand what they think of projects like this. Built with EVM contracts on a Bitcoin-powered blockchain. I'm really curious on what does a Bitcoin-powered blockchain mean? Satoshi Plus, the Satoshi Plus consensus mechanism combines the best of Bitcoin and Ethereum decentralization and security and ensures through delegated proof of work from Bitcoin mining pools, scalability and compatibility are achieved through delegate proof of stake, DPoS, from core token holders. Talked about the DAO already. We got 233 million on chain. Crow, I think Crow is actually doing fairly well. They're one of the only people that are making it easy to buy things like Cadena. I know a couple people in Texas were messaging me today saying they couldn't buy Cadena on Binance because it says it wasn't available in their area. So they only have 21 validators. That's pretty they only got 26. So exchange, DAO mining pool, Everstake, Wolf Labs, Hobie, another exchange. So this is where these exchanges kill it, you know? I mean, I don't know how many exchanges have Bitcoin mining farms running, but you know, when these exchanges are running those validators, they're making bank, and then they're just selling it off to the retail investor. Another Bear DAO, external mining pool, and tranches. So it looks like certain validators. Let me go back to that first page. Okay, so these are the only validators that are active right now. And it looks like they got millions of coins staked. I think I would assume those are the amount of coins they have staked, or is that maybe dollars? And they're owning. That one says 12.7. Okay, 12.7. This one's 19. That's the amount of rewards they're earning. It's an interesting project. I'd like to look into it more. Mr. K, if you're in their Telegram or anything, tell them to reach out. I'd like to interview them and hear more about this project. That's interesting. Really interesting to what's scaling Bitcoin. Where else you guys got? I keep forgetting to get on the other live chat. Who else we got over here? Max, what up, Max? Good to see you, man. Crypto will be another asset class to move inflationary dollars through. I agree. Any steps for broke man to get money? Max, work harder, my friend. I know it sucks in Biden's America when you have to work 2 jobs just to put a roof over your head. So it looks like, you know, the days I used to tell everybody, you know, get a second job and work a second job at McDonald's and put every penny you can into Bitcoin and do that for 2 years, 3 years. And your family will never work again for the rest of your life. I've only had, I think, 1 or 2 people that have listened and taken that advice. They got a second job. One of my OG followers got a second job. He was working at Taco Bell, and I think he got another job at like Panera Bread or maybe even another Taco Bell at another location somewhere. But he's been working 2 jobs and putting every penny he can from that second job into crypto. And I think it's going to be a very lucrative play. Very, very lucrative. What other coins you guys holding on to? Where can we stake Cadena? You can stake Cadena on CADX, my friend. That seems to be the only place that, and I think it's not even called CADX anymore. I think it's called Echo Dex. Yeah, so you can come over here. You can stake your Cadena over here on CADX. It's the best place to stake it. Probably the only place that I would actually probably stake it. Yep, that's about it. Oh, that's pretty crazy to see that they have that big of a liquidity pool. We found all that Flux liquidity was actually the Flux team's liquidity. All those Flux tokens that were staked over there. So that was nice. They had a big chunk of coins. And if you guys have any of your coins on the old CADX from like when they originally launched, make sure you go over there and get them off, because you have to go get into the beta version and pull your coins off the beta version. So make sure you guys are doing that. Yeah, homie, you got it, man. What other coins you guys holding? We pull up anything you guys want. Baby Grok coin. But the coin makes me broke. Baby Grok coin. You know, I can't imagine why, my friend. What is Baby Grok? Oh no. She gone. Yeah, that's not good, my friend. I'm sorry to hear that one. What else you got? What else you got, Max? Was that, and is that a war? Anwar? Am I saying that right? I know I'm not. Anwar. Gen Z only hope is Bitcoin. Without it, they'll be screwed. I couldn't agree more. And it's crazy how I don't know if it's just like a money thing, why your mind shifts like that. But, you know, I used to be big into chasing down all the coins, and now all I really want to do is stack more Bitcoin. But I like charting them out. I like taking a look at all the projects you guys are looking at. Pendle, you got it, man. So Josh says, I've been snacking Pyth, Pyth. Really like this one. It's like Chainlink for Solana. Oh, wow, that's cool. Pendle, you got here. Pendle and Treasuries. Oh, wow, there you go. You just got a nice long signal on that on the 4 hour, which is rare, right? So the harmonic pattern's playing out. I actually have a guy, his name's Craig. He's going to be joining us over here. He does a show with Pete Santilli in the mornings called Morning Markets over on Rumble. So if you guys are up early and you want to get a little idea of where the markets are going in the morning, swing over there and check out their show called Morning Markets. And sorry, I'm trying to get the volume right. And he does, man, like you can take the data from like indicators and CoinMarketCap, and you can download this data and then feed it to Excel spreadsheets, and then you can use that data in really unique ways to see things that you don't see on these charts. So Craig's been building out this these protocols, or I don't really know what he calls them, these strategies or He's way to analyze markets, and he's going to be bringing it over here on the show to teach us. But yeah, if you guys are in Pendle right now, Pendle just printed your harmonics pattern on a 4-hour, which these things are normally pretty accurate. So your upper target on the 1.618 is calling for a $3.81 push to the upside on this push. That'll be at 36%. You got 1 confirmation, 2 confirmations, 3 confirmations, 4 confirmations on that play. Your entry price would have been either right at the print of this D, or you could have waited till the cross, which would have been right here. So your oscillator just crossed here. You got a buy signal here. So your first buy signal was your D. Your second one would have been when this red X printed, when this cloud, the red cloud back there hit. You got a green arrow down here, which is your oscillator cross. And then you just again here. So you got 4 confirmations that long on Pendle is the play. If you would have taken it at that last one, you'd be up about 4 or 5% right now. Pepe. Take a look at it for you guys. Pepe. So you got on Pepe right now on the 4-hour time frame, you got 1 confirmation. You got your cloud, which is 2. You got your crossover here, which is 3. So you got 3 signals saying that going long on Pepe right now was the play. Take that for what it is. It looks like you're up on this one in the last 24 days. You're up 757%. So it's a degen play. Do I think it'll be anything more than a degen play? No, I think it's just like a crypto scratch off ticket. What's the market cap on it right now? Market cap's 3.5 billion. So, you know, are you going to find enough retards to come in and put another 3.5 billion in there for you to 2x? It doesn't have to be 3 billion, right? Because it's all about supply and demand. So, you know, for you to 2x your money, there's not going to need to be another 3.5 billion, but a decent chunk, a really big chunk. So, you know, does it turn into a Shiba and you end up with a $30 billion market cap would be a 10x from here? Would that be where I would first, like if I was flat broke and was trying to really like degen it to the max and make some 100x gains? This just doesn't have it in there. So do I think it could go up to a Shiba market cap and hit 30 billion? Hell, it's crypto, man. Anything could. I don't think it would be the smartest play or the best play or the first place I'd put my money, but you know, whatever you guys think. Trust Industries, my man. How you doing, buddy? M-Y-R-O. Myro, you got 1 sign of confirmation so far and along. Looks like you bounced off your 200-day moving average, which is probably pretty solid. As long as we don't have any bearish moves. We got, you know, what's his name pushing the market? Powell pushing up the market. It'll be your next target on that one. If it pushes the upside, would be 57 cents. Looks like a 50%, 155% on that trade if it hits. So again, here's you can see this butterfly pattern playing out here. Your entry point would have been down here. If you would have swung that trade and held that from the time that printed, it doesn't look like you would have got stomped out on it. And it would have taken you about 38 days for that trade to play out, but it would have been a 748% trade. Do I really rely on these indicators? No, because I don't really trade, but I did pay $1,500 for them, so they were quite expensive. And seems like they're fairly accurate right now, so yeah. Myro, Trust Indices says Myro has a low market cap. Let's take a look at it. Oops. Let me just, give me 1 second. Let me change out, let's just do that. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I wanted to close out all those other windows and get all that shit off my screen. Let's see what else we got. Myro. Let's take a look at Myro on CoinMarketCap. Myro sitting at a $233 million market cap. Let's see what this one's all about. And they don't have any about sections here, do they? Myro the dog, named after Solana's founder, Ra Gorky dog Myro. Oh, you guys are funny as hell, man. Where the heck did these people come up with this shit? All-time high, $233 million market cap of a dog. Only in crypto, folks. Only in crypto. Flux has been on a straight ripper lately. Flux hit $1.70. Flip Cadena. Big moves coming for Flux. Huge fan of Flux. A0. I got a little A0. I forgot about that. B&K got some A0. I sent Mr. K $1,500 and had him buy me A0 like, gosh, when was that? And I keep being like, bro, I'm going to get that wallet set up. I promise I'm going to get it set up. You know, if there's one coin I think the masses are going to be shilling and pumping this bull run as far as a proof of stake project, it would be A0, man. And it's actually at a fairly low price. Yeah, $320 million market cap. Doesn't have a max supply though that I see, which is kind of not really a fan of those coins with no max supply. But when you're in a bull run like this, it doesn't really matter. Look at like the people over here say Elmer Fudd says A0 being stable. It is bullish time, but also in a bearish time. I trust their team. Time for A0 will come. A0 under $1. Retest 66 to the lowers, 0.2 possible, $50 million market cap. Looks like it's on quite a few exchanges now. At least exchanges where you guys get your hand on it. No, oh yeah, KuCoin. So not on Binance yet. We could see some big moves coming from A0, especially if it gets listed. Blue says inflation on A0 is high. Man, I wish when we had Masari. It's Masari, right? And I wonder if Masari got rid of all that shit that they used to display on these coins because of all the videos I make. And they were making it way too easy for me to destroy these proof of stake projects that claim to be decentralized when there's nothing decentralized about them. Yeah, man, you remember when we can get all of the data from here? We can get the coins, the release schedule, how much money the VCs were making. And now there's nothing over here. Like Solana used to be able to see the team release schedules, quarterly reports. Explore in-depth insights, risk, tokenomics, technology, and more. So I guess us peasants don't get that data anymore, unfortunately. Inflation's high. I wish I could tell you guys what the inflation rate was. I would be able to tell you. I don't know if I did a video on A0 back in the day. Did I? I think I did, actually. Let's see if I show the market cap on that. $30 million coins per year, Mr. K says. Man, I'm interested. I want to see where they go. I'd like to interview their team. I'm very curious about their DAG structure and how that blockchain scales. But A0 has got your, you got your bat calling right now on this one as well. So that's calling for $1.95 on that next push up. That's a 61% play if it's right. A-War. I'm just going to say A-War if that's all right. A-War says, A0 has a nice ecosystem. You can also stake it and earn more. Staking rewards updated their website. Lots of info talking about on there. Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about Myro Trust Industries? Or are you talking about A0? A0 is interesting, man. I'm very interested in it. Yo, intentional in the house, my man. Anyone in Alphian ecosystem? ASIC miners coming. No, I've heard a lot of good things about Alphium, though. Let's take a look at that project. Alphium. $191 million market cap. In the last 7 days, we are in the red. In the last 1 month, we are in the red, down from 380. Now it's back under a, man, that might be, man, it's just so hard. You know, I don't really need to make those crazy gains anymore. So it's so hard for me to go, yeah, this coin probably has a 10 or 20x in it. But I think Bitcoin has a 10x in it. You know, so it's like, do I risk it? Is it even worth risking it when I can just stack more sats? What do you guys think? What is your goal? Like, if you guys had $1 million, let's jump over to the live chat and say what up to everybody for a second. If you guys had $1 million right now, what would you be putting it into and how much and why? Let's see what we got. We got Blue over here. It says, will do. Lucky, my man. Good to see you. So odd on YouTube is completely broken. LOL. The live stream is the only thing that's working. Well, that's a first. Normally they shut down our live stream. So Intentional says, so what? Still love KDA better. Oh yeah, man. KDA is the way to go, especially for layer 1 blockchains. In my personal opinion, though. Wouldn't be the first time I've been wrong about a blockchain, but for the most part, I'm a huge into KDA, man. I just feel like I don't have to worry about it. It's the most advanced technology, and that's not even debatable. So, you know, when you have the most advanced technology in any industry, it always wins. Always wins. So take that for what it is. I'm a believer in KDA. I think it's going to be around for a very long time. Hopefully their team kind of gets their stuff together and really starts getting out there and marketing it. But, you know, in theory, you know, a blockchain shouldn't have to be marketed by a team. But if there's a team of people behind it and there's a team there, let's get that marketing. But hey, you know, they're getting some devs to come on the channel next week or this week on Thursday. So tomorrow we're gonna have Andy and I believe Amir and maybe Steve from KDA Bet will join us as well. So that's gonna be exciting. I like what they're doing. But if you guys had $1 million, where would you put it? That's what I really want to know. Blue just said it right there. You guys see that? Blue said it perfectly. And that's what's so really weird. Like I'm into interviewing so many different people because I always like hearing what other people are thinking. And then when you hear almost every single person has just became a Bitcoin maxi and they started out in shitcoins, and I kind of did too. You know, I was mining ETH when it was $2.34, and now I'm over here stacking as much Bitcoin as humanly possible. But and Blue says it says once you get to a milli, you turn it into BTC and you become a BTC maxi because that's the safe way. I agree. Intentional says Myro, baby. Rick says half BTC, half infrastructure. Intentional says I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd probably put 900,000 of it into Bitcoin, honestly. I'd put a vast majority of it into BTC. And that's what I think. It's like, they say, what is it saying? Like, you know, if you want to, you know, don't dress for the job you want, or don't dress for the job you have, dress for the job you want. You know, if you want to be rich and successful, do what rich and successful people do. And you're seeing all the richest and most successful people in crypto just stacking Bitcoin. So it's like, man. Mustache, is that Mustache Gymwear says Bitcoin? Yeah, BTC is it, man. That's the only thing I'd buy right now. It's the only thing that I can convince myself to, like, I don't have to look at it. I'm just trying to protect my wealth. And I keep saying this over and over, but I think, you know, the amount of Bitcoin you buy today will dictate the amount of freedom you have in the future. And your ability to be free freedom is everything. And that's what Bitcoin represents. It's like the last hope for the middle class. It's the last hope for humanity. And if it wasn't for Bitcoin, imagine what people would be doing with their money right now. I mean, it would be a straight dumpster fire or a run to gold. Haynes says, I'd buy BTC on the next dip. I think we just saw it. Like, it's pretty crazy to think that we've ran up from, we had a 20% pullback. EOD says, what up, man? He says, Mr. K, ELF is its own independent L1. Yeah, Alphium is its own independent L1. Yep. We can take a look at that too if you guys want to dive into what Alphium is really quick. Elfium. Elfium is a scalable for devs, secure for user, decentralized for all, innovative sharding meets expressive UTXO, an efficient proof of less work to secure scalable dApps for real-world use case. From its technical design and infrastructure, Elfium has created to address the challenges of accessibility, scalability, and security encountered by decentralized applications today. It just bugs me when people say decentralized, you know? I think, why don't you just change that word from, but you know, if you look up the definition of decentralized, I guess they kind of do fit the definition, right? Which inflation is transitory, so take it for what it is. So, to distribute the administrative functions of power of a central authority among several authorities, right? To bring about redistribution of an urban population and industry to suburban areas, to cause or withdraw or disappear from center of concentration. So basically, to distribute administrative function of power of a central authority among several local authorities. So technically, I guess they do meet the definition of decentralized. But when I look at decentralized, I look at it as, can a corrupt judge in New York City, court order you to change your application or to turn over somebody's keys or to shut down your blockchain? If that's possible, right? Like, there's a team of people behind these blockchains. So if you take out the team, you take out the blockchain. Where something like Bitcoin doesn't really depend or rely on anybody in that way. So where do I think SHIB will be in 5 years? In the dumpster, if I had to take a guess. SHIB, I think, was the shiny toy of last year. I think there will be a bunch of dumb money retards that'll come in there and pump price up for you guys. Let's take a look at the market cap on it. It just has no use case, and outside of just like a bunch of, like, you know, kids and, like, you know, the best part about SHIB is you're not in love with it, right? You buy it, it goes up, you sell it, you don't even think twice about it. Taking a look at price, looks like prices went up 170% in the last year. In the last month almost. Take a look at it on the charts. Yeah, 485%. So, you know, maybe it goes up and does well, what was the market cap at it before? So it hit a $25 billion market cap. It went from 5 billion to 25 billion. You think it's going to go from 25 billion to 100 billion? Like, why are people buying SHIB? Is there any, outside of hoping it pumps? It looks like 82% in the last month. But we've seen some wild shit in crypto, you know? Circulating supply and the max supply are all out in circulation. So it doesn't look like there's going to be any more coins getting released into circulation. What happened with Vitalik? Vitalik got in some heat today. He got sued or something. Or the SEC opened an investigation into Vitalik. EODVT says it has an active ETH bridge. You know, I wish I could short some of these these bridges. I feel like they're all going to get hacked, but maybe people learned their lesson last bull run. What do you think? Whelp. WALPH. I'm typing that right. Not seeing anything for that one. Let's jump back over here. So sad. So many people nowadays invest their money on shitcoins like Shiba Inu, Pep, Floki, Peng, and other meme coins. Sad. Yeah. But, you know, those are the people that, you know, what I like about that is most of the time the people that created the shitcoins that are pumping and basically stealing your money they're smart, right? They're smart enough to do what they're doing, and they're smart enough to know that they got a shitcoin. So like, even though the dumb money goes into meme coins, smart money goes into Bitcoin. So it's like, as you guys are buying and pumping these shitcoins, the devs and the team are taking the profits and they're putting that money into Bitcoin. So like, where Bitcoin maxis hate on all these shitcoins, I actually think it's a huge solid, because they're congregating massive amounts of liquidity from all of these retard investors that are buying shitcoins, and then they're moving that money into Bitcoin, or they're creating the next shitcoin. But either way, they're still buying Bitcoin with their profits. I mean, anybody that you see makes millions of dollars. I mean, look at the live chat, and most of you guys that have had $1 million that go into Bitcoin, right? So when these devs create these shitcoins and they make millions of dollars, where do you think they're putting that money? You think they're leaving it in SHIB? I don't think so. Sure, I'm sure the devs and the people on the team have printed so many SHIB out of thin air that they have an unlimited stash of SHIB, but you know, ETH FUD, so the bug eaters can get cheap ETH. ETH FUD, so the bug eaters can get cheap ETH. Yep. Yep, devs transferring to ETH or BTC. I don't really know why many people are buying ETH right now. Outside of it's just tradable. Maybe if you interact with their ecosystem. XRP's one, man. Look at this. Out of all the projects, XRP's giving you a short. So on the, when you're deep printed up here, your short targets on XRP would have been at the 1.618 or the 1.27. G-Trek liquidity providers. Yep. G-Trek liquidity providers. What else we got over here? Flux is looking great. Flux is probably one of my favorites as far as proof of stake. Matic's over here not looking too hot either. Matic's giving you a false breakout to the upside. Looks like Matic hit roughly $1.30 the other day. Last week sometime. Matic's one of those ones that you're just like, oh, you know, this coin sits there, and all of a sudden it freaking rips, man. This is one of the ones, one of the coins I use for my bots to trade, just because it's so reliable and so consistent. Yeah, Zephyr, what's that one up to? You guys were all hype about that. $14% in the last day. 1 month, you're down to 18. Got a $39 million market cap. That'll probably rip up there. 39 million's low. I can't see the other market caps on it. I know a lot of people in Cadena like it. XLM. Haven't heard that one in a minute. XLM. XLM, man. I've never really been a big fan of XLM, but that would be one I'd probably set up a bot to trade as well, just because it's so reliable. You know, I was trading these Bitcoin pairs, and I still am. But what I'm noticing is, when you're trading a Bitcoin like XRP pair, for example, the assets have to move up together, right? So if Bitcoin rips up, right, and XRP just stays the same price, it'll start to separate. So even then, if XRP and Bitcoin run up, like, you're still at a disadvantage. Let me show what I mean here. So let's do, so we'll do XRP USDT, and then we'll do XRP BTC on 2 separate charts so you guys can see. Let me jump onto like a 1-day time frame. So this, right? Check out this chart. What do you see here? What do you see in USD, right? So XRP to USD, right, is gaining value. but XRP relative to Bitcoin, right? Like you could have been shorting XRP Bitcoin, and even though XRP went up in value, you're still profitable on that short. 69% down. It's pretty gnarly. Like absolutely insane, in my personal opinion. But when you're talking about trading bots, what do you want? Like you want to trade a range, right? So that's a pretty damn good range. I mean, you could have traded this if you had your bot set up in 2019. You could have traded that range for roughly, in a majority of the time you'd been in it. And let's see what that big that range is. That's an 90% range. Yeah, I don't think you could have traded. That's a little bit too big of a range. You'd have to slim it down. Let's just go recently. And if you traded this range, which I think you probably could. Yeah, you could trade a 35% range all day. And a majority of the time you're in that range. Now let's take a look at another one. So this is Matic USD, and we'll do Matic BTC. Same thing, right? That's pretty fucking nuts to me. I didn't realize this when I set up my bots, right? So even though price is going up on Matic, right? I'm on the 1 month chart over here. Let me size these up right. So this is Matic in USD value, right? Up 158% in the last 160 days. And then if we get over here and we look at Matic BTC over the last so this should be last 160 days, 154 days, so give or take, right? Down 28%. Because Bitcoin's value is increasing faster than Matic. It's pretty nuts, right? So my bots have been set up trading these, and I've had to add to them a couple times because I didn't realize that, which is fine. I'm not losing money. The assets are just trading against Bitcoin, but the value is going down, which is pretty weird to think about, you know? But in relative to dollars, like a lot of, I forget what it is. I think a lot of assets went, like when they were like 70 or 80% off, they were actually relative to Bitcoin, they were already like 90, 99% off. Which is pretty crazy to think about. So it's gonna be interesting to see how these bots, but they're super profitable. One of my XRP bots made me like $3,000 in 3 weeks or something like that when I first set one up. It was wild. The thing was just ripping. That's the other reason I hold any of those shitcoins, just to trade them for more BTC. BTC and Matic and BTC and XRP are my only ones. I would probably set one up on XLM as well, but that one I'd be afraid that it wouldn't go up. So I wonder if the SEC and what happened with their lawsuit is to prevent an ETH ETF, because man, oh man, do you imagine what things are going to look like if they had an XRP ETF or an Ethereum ETF? Jeez, oh Pete, it'd be fucking nuts, man. Absolutely nuts. Did you deep dive or get into contact with the space team? No, I did not, Mr. K. No, I did not. I would absolutely love to talk to the space team. So if anybody has any contacts over there, back to $21. I think that's where we got into that, right? No, I think I got in at $28. Yeah, it had a $75 million market cap, and now it has a $58 million. This is a scaling for Bitcoin layer 2 scaling solution. I'm interested to hear more about these projects. I'd like to see what they're all about. All right, folks, that's a wrap over here on the Ryan Matta Show. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, we had a interview planned for tonight, so we just kind of threw this show together last minute. Anybody that's big in the Bitcoin space that you guys know that has any great insight or is good at trading, I'm very interested to interview some of these really, really advanced traders that have legit strategies that we can kind of talk to and break down. Anybody that's big in the Bitcoin ecosystem, please send them my way. Developers from any of these blockchains, I'm always open to have, or I'm always interested to have open conversations with people. What else do we got over here? I got a few more tweets out. So this was by bitcoinnews.com. I interviewed the CEO, Rob, last week, one of the co-founders of bitcoinnews.com. Has a great interview over on my channel if you guys haven't seen it. He says, just in 1.467 billion in outflows so far this week from GBTC, and Bitcoin is still up 6K on the day. And then I'm also going to be having on the other co-founder, which is Luke. He'll be coming over on the channel. He goes by Luke at Luke MIKIC21 over on X. He says Argentina is flocking to Bitcoin. I think Argentina is going to be the next nation state to make Bitcoin legal tender. And I honestly think that maybe, just maybe, they announce it at one of these Bitcoin conferences, just like they did with El Salvador last year. Then all of a sudden it completely changes the dynamic of El Salvador did this as an experiment to, okay, this is the new strategy. Every nation should be adopting Bitcoin and making Bitcoin legal tender. Two smaller countries like that, probably not going to make any big impact on it. But when everybody starts seeing these countries thrive, and they will thrive, especially if they can keep out the tyrannical deep state and the CIA out of their country, which would be a top priority if I lived in El Salvador. Everything I could do to keep the CIA out of my country, it would be happening. So smash that like button, folks. If you guys just swing over there on Rumble, make sure that thumbs up turns green and lets the algorithm know that you enjoy this content. We're going to be trying to bring you guys content from all walks of life, from people from the political aisle to investors to first-time hodlers to OG Bitcoiners. If you guys got any people, please send me DMs over on X. My X is Ryan Matta Media. And if you guys want to watch our political stuff, we do a show on LFA TV. And our shows are getting pretty popular. Actually, we have about 1,500 to 2,000 people watching live every day over on LFA TV's Rumble channel. Videos are getting anywhere from 10 to 20,000 views in the first 24 hours. So shows are really a blast over there. So if you guys really want to go down the rabbit hole and conspiracy theories and talk about a whole bunch of wild, crazy shit, hit that like button. Come over and join us over on LFA TV. Give a big shout out to our sponsors, mypillow.com/Matta will get you 50% off everything store-wide. I even heard some items are 65% off. If you guys are not in the USA and are looking to buy Bitcoin, I don't recommend trading or leverage trading or anything crazy. But if you guys are looking for a good spot to buy crypto outside of the United States, check out Bybit. Today's sponsor is Bybit. Bybit is your one-stop shop for crypto trading, crypto investing, buying, learning. I've also built a step-by-step digital course which teaches you everything you need to know about buying crypto on Bybit, and not just buying crypto on Bybit, but trading strategies, setting up crypto trading bots. Bitcoin is the best way to fight against tyranny, to fight against government corruption, to fight back against the Federal Reserve printing trillions of dollars and depreciating everything that your family has worked for your entire life. So get yourself some Bitcoin. You should at least allocate a small percentage of it to your portfolio. Be a smart investor. Don't let the government take everything from you. Again, my name's Ryan Matta. Links to my affiliate codes are down in the description. Show this channel some love and go buy yourself some Bitcoin. And today's sponsor is MEX Exchange. When we talk about fighting back against tyranny, there is no better way to do so, folks, than buying Bitcoin. And I mean it. Are you sick of putting your money into investment vehicles that are controlled and owned by BlackRock? Do you enjoy making BlackRock more rich? Do you enjoy letting the Joe Biden administration print away your family's life savings and funnel that money into woke causes that support the LGBTQ movement? I don't think so. I personally don't. There's a saying in the Bitcoin community, fix the money, fix the world. All of the corruption around the world stems from their ability to control money. They have the ability to debank you. But by choosing to interact with Bitcoin, you can take that power back. You can gain financial sovereignty. You can choose to withdraw from a corrupt economy. So support me, support this channel, support Matter of Fact. If you guys are in the United States of America, there's no better place to buy Bitcoin than MEX Exchange. My affiliate codes will be linked down in my link tree. There's also Binance. And if you are not in the USA, the best place to buy Bitcoin is Bybit. It's my absolute hands down favorite exchange ever. There it is, folks. You guys got all the affiliate links there down below. If you guys want to buy crypto, those are my favorite places to do so, especially if you guys are not inside the tyrannical United States of America. God bless each and every one of you guys. I can't wait to catch you guys on the flip side. We will be coming at you live tomorrow at 9 a.m. And if you guys go over to my YouTube channel, I'm actually going to pull that up right now and show you guys. You guys can see all the interviews that we have scheduled out. So YouTube lets me schedule out these interviews and everything really far in advance, which I wish Rumble would get on that train. But you guys can see we got a roundtable, Cadena roundtable tonight. Exelon Wallet coming over on, what is that, Friday? Yeah, it looks like Friday. And then we also got Bitcoin trade analysis. I got some good traders that are coming on as well. Understanding Bitcoin and security. We're going to dive deep into crypto wallets. I got Ben coming on as well next week. And he's going to really teach you guys, if you guys want to learn how to actually store your Bitcoin in a cold storage wallet, get it offline, multi-sig, all things Bitcoin and wallets. That's going to be the show you guys want to come and join us on. So again, I'm going to be putting all these interviews, the devil's in the details over here as well. Axel from Financial Physics. This guy's insight into what's going on in America and money and finance. I mean, this guy is spot on. He's been making some really, really good calls. I've really been enjoying his content. So we got a lot of great shows. And then Thomas as well from Hey Apollo, which is the Bitcoin ETF tracker. We had an interview scheduled for tonight, but it had to get pushed off until next week. So that's going to be on Thursday next week. So again, send everybody my Twitter, and hopefully we get some better guests over here, or a lot more guests to come and join us over here on the Ryan Matta Show. God bless you guys. We will catch you same place, same time. God bless. We out.
Run.